Welcome to Dana Mecum's original Spring Classic. This is 32 years in the making and it promises to be the biggest and the best ever. 2,000 cars, 6 days, and some of the best collections on the planet. What we're going to take a quick peek at now is what is considered to be the best collection of 1955 to 1957 Ford Thunderbirds. Amos Minter, well known throughout the car community as being an A-lister. He's a restorer, he sells parts, and he collects rare Thunderbirds. We've got the absolute highest quality, best equipped, and most rare Thunderbirds on the planet, including a big group of cars that have that top of the line F-code supercharged engine. To have one of those cars at a Mecum auction would be a big deal, but can you believe it? 9 of those cars are going to be crossing the auction block. Price value estimates, how about between $200,000 and $300,000 each? You want to take a look under the hood and see what makes that 312 cubic inch, 300 horsepower engine so special? How about a bell-driven supercharger right from the factory? Got one right here. If you can get past the extreme restoration quality, you'll take a look at the belt-driven supercharger by McCullough that takes the 245 horsepower on a standard 312 and kicks it all the way up to 300 horsepower. That supercharger supplies the power to the to the carburetor through this air box. Pretty crude, very old school, but in 1957, that was cutting edge. One thing you're going to notice as part of this collection is colors. You know, in today's automotive palette, everything's either white or black, shades of gray, maybe a maroon occasionally. But one of the charming things about the 1950s eras were the beautiful colors, the pastels, the greens, the blues. Yeah, we got a few charcoal colored cars here, but one of my favorites is the only F-Bird, the only factory supercharged Thunderbird, in that beautiful pale yellow. Why don't they make cars in these colors anymore? I don't know, I sure wish they did. Mecum Indy, right from the time that this collection of cars was announced, got so much attention. What we're looking at here are 4 of the world's best Shelby Cobras, owned by Mr. Giuliano, who unfortunately has passed away. His daughter is here selling these cars. She's entrusted the sale to Mecum Auctions, but these are not ordinary Shelby Cobras. We sell a lot of those. They're worth about $1 million a piece. But what we have are examples, specific individual examples of 4 of the most important versions of Shelby Cobras, and we've got the best of the best as far as condition and originality and correct parts. We're expecting world record prices on these cars. In fact, these 4 Cobras could very well exceed $10 million for the sale of the 4 cars. They are selling individually, and there are some Mecum auctions that we don't even generate $10 million in sales with the entire auction of 500 or 600 cars. The first one off the bat maybe is my favorite. This is a 1966 427 Cobra. This was intended to be a competition version, but it was actually converted for street use. So you see the unusual wide rear fenders to accommodate racing tires, but a more modest-sized tire on the street. Even by today's standards, a 427 Cobra will perform on par with the best you can buy today. These cars were famous in the 1960s for accelerating from 0 to 100 and then back to 0 due to strong braking in 10 seconds or less. But it wasn't all about big engines with the Shelby Cobra. They also had smaller engines. The 289 cubic inch Ford small block, arguably to a lot of enthusiasts, makes for a better balanced car. And Stephen Giuliano has the best 289 Cobra on the planet. Take a look at this. And I'm not just talking about a great color combination in red. This is the highest option Shelby Cobra to leave Shelby's production line in the 1960s. It's got so many accessory items, including a rarely seen cool 5-spoke wheel. And those Goodyear tires you're looking at, they are original on this car dating back to the mid-1960s. One of the most identifiable of the big block versions of the AC Cobra is the SC, the competition version, and you're looking at one right here. Be really careful if you go for a ride on one of these. That side exhaust gets very hot. Now you see the oversized racing tires filling out the fender wells much better than on the street version. Medium blue metallic with the stripe, classic color combination, and again, the Shelby Cobra enthusiasts that are aware of this car consider this to be one of the absolute best Shelby Cobras on the planet. The final car in this group of Shelby Cobras, car number 4, one of the most rare. How about a factory drag race, what's known as a dragon snake? This is a 289 cubic inch version that was intended for drag racing, very, very popular in mid-1960s. The manufacturers were very anxious to get on board with drag racing because it was getting to be such a big spectator sport. And the little road race special that the AC Cobras were so well known for decided to hit the drag strips, and they were very, very competitive. And as you can see, the A Sports Roadster classification in the mid-1960s. Bottom line on these 4 Shelby Cobras is these are the best examples that exist in the planet. The fact that they come to Mecum Auction to sell, to be put onto the market, is very much an honor for this auction company. Dana Mecum has described these 4 Cobras as perhaps the best collection that he has ever consigned in a 32-year history. And are they going to break the bank and set record prices? We're going to find out. Stephen Giuliano was known to be perhaps the world's #1 fan and enthusiast of promotional and marketing materials for the Mopar gang. From the late 60s to the early 1970s, he collected over 2,000 original pieces of showroom art and display items that nobody else has ever done before. They're all here on sale at no reserve, all 2,000 items, and a trip into the display area is literally a trip back in time. Those of us that remember this time period, the wild colors and the pop art, can relate to it. From about 1969 to 1971. And as part of the promotion that Mopar was using, the Rapid Transit District Tour to car shows and dealerships around the country was a big part of those promotional efforts. And we've actually got cars that were used back in that era as part of this memorabilia collection. It wasn't just all about the colors either with the rapid transit system. The Mopar engineers did special design clues as well. The striping, the colors, wheels and tires, grille, taillight treatments, all were part of that to put a lot of attention onto the Mopar product. And the great part about it is it really worked. This campaign was very successful. It kept Mopar really at the top of the heap as far as coming out with cars and promotions that set themselves apart from the rest. It was the height of the muscle car wars. Every manufacturer had performance cars in their mix, but nobody did it with more flamboyance than Mopar. And these cars that you're looking at right now from that era, ending in 1971 right here, is the piece of automotive history that is not going to be forgotten, thanks to Stephen Giuliano's vision for keeping all this alive. Look at all the showroom displays and all of the memorabilia, over 2,000 pieces, all of the memorabilia selling at no reserve. Very emotional for Stephen Giuliano's daughter, but she's also very gratified that there's so much attention and interest in all of these items, and I'm sure everything's going to be going to a great home.